Hello, everybody. Welcome along. It is Friday night. It's some championship action here on the watch along. It is Hull City versus West Bromwich Albion. Come and sit down and sit with us and join us for the next couple of hours. We're going to be watching along to the game, debating everything that's going on over at the MKM Stadium and anything else you want to talk about over there in the chat. Get saying hello, get welcomed, get comfortable, hit the thumbs up button. Let's get the debate moving and we will get into it right now. I'll have a look at the teams as we head for an 8 o'clock kickoff in about 15 minutes. Ty, welcome. Ben, Russell, can you see anything button away? Well, we'll get some predictions off people as we go. Ewan, welcome. Up the effing baggies, says Hamza. What am I going for? We'll get to my predictions. I did put them up yesterday, but hey, we can change our mind in between, can't we? Lenny, fearing the worst after seeing the lineup. We will take a look at those. Hit like, absolutely power mad as well. Welcome in the chat. Get the debate moving. Let's have a look just at the big picture before we go into the team news. Obviously, we're coming up to 10 games to go now in the Championship, and slice it how you like. Playing ahead of everybody on the Friday can be an advantage, can be a disadvantage. You tell me. That is how the table is looking right now. So you see West Brom in 11th spot. They have been better placed. You can see in that form guide there, loss, draw, loss, before they did win that last game against Middlesbrough, to be fair, who are out of the picture in third place up there. A win for West Brom tonight would pop them above Watford on 51 points. I mean, table schmable at the moment, it's just about winning, getting a winning run going. And you know what it's like with sort of 10 or 12 games to go. Someone's going to win 7 or 8 of those. And whoever in that playoff race that does that will probably end up in there, given how open things are looking. You wouldn't want that gap there. You can see the makings there. Luton, 6th place, 54 points. And then Sunderland, just a few places below 49. You could see somewhere a 4 5-point gap opening up. And then you start to fence things off, don't you? You wouldn't want to be the wrong side of that if you were West Brom, of course. Second year of their parachute payments. Want to leverage that nice financial advantage that we spend so long, way too long, talking about when we study the Championship. Hull with a win would go above Bristol City. Okay, it's all temporary with it being a Friday night game, but we can say with certainty they would go into 45 points, just outside the top half. Obviously, Liam Rossinia's remit is just stabilise, build, get things moving in the right direction, maybe to be in that top half or higher for next season. You would think the Ilichali ownership would be wanting there from Rossini. You can see, looking at that form guide though, draw, loss over the last 4. We'll look at the teams in just a second. Let's go to some more comments. Dave, good evening, sir. Ewan's going for a 2-1 Hull. Hamza, we have an entire squad injured. We have a chunk of youngsters on the bench. Still a lot of quality in there, Hamza, isn't there? Championship so competitive. Alex, hoping from a Millwall point of view, Hull can win, but don't see it. Hamza 2-0 baggies. Championship way more competitive than the Prem. Peter, good evening. Liam, watching the best team in Europe. Who's that then? 3-0 Albion, says Regis. That looks like a drinks label. Dave, good evening. 2-1 Albion. What else have we got? Sorry, it's Friday. I'm effed, but here nowadays. Well, nice to see you under whatever circumstances. Helen, good evening to you too, Helen. Be interested in your take on Gab Sutton predicted a 6-0 defeat for your Blackpool tomorrow. Ben, 2-2. Excited to see Mollenby. Vindaloo, Baggies win by 1, I hope. Russ, 3-1. Baggies, Napoli. There we go. As BT Sports says, Riley, your weekend starts here. Yes, indeed. It does not caught alive in a long time. Eli, welcome to you. Good sir. Good evening. 2-1 Baggies. Entertaining score draw 3-2. My dad has gone to Napoli versus Lazio. Right. Great comments. Keep that debate moving. Keep that chat going. Let's have a look at the teams as ever. I'll say what I always say. Let me know who you're looking forward to seeing. Let me know your thoughts generally on the sides. Have I got that size right? Yes, you can see that. Carl Darlow in goal for Hull City, former Newcastle man. Callum Elder, Aussie left back, and Louis Coyle is the other fullback. Centre halves, Alfie Jones and Sean McLaughlin. No Jacob Greaves. It's on the bench, actually. Xavier Simmons, just 20 years old, on loan from Chelsea in the central midfield, one of those two spots there, along with Greg Doherty. Front right is Ryan Longman. Front left, Regan Slater. Talented player. Looking at that side, looks like there's a lot on Tufan to create there. You'd see him as the main outlet potentially. No Estupinian up top. Benjamin Tete is in the number 9 spot for Hull City. Let me know your thoughts on that. Here's the bench. Syed Manesh, Ebioe, excuse me. Estupinian, Traore, Greaves, Figueiredo, Lo Tutala. There is some capacity to change things from the bench, I have to say. It does feel a bit of an odd. It does feel like, particularly with Greaves and Estupinian, that maybe a couple of the strong players might be on the bench. But look, if they're in the game, they've got the capacity to change it. Let's have a look at the West Brom team. You can see it on the screen there. In goal, Josh Griffiths continues. The youngster, he was on loan at Pompey for the first half of the season. They've had problems in net, let's just say, West Brom. Darnell Furlong, he of the mega long throw, ex-QPR fullback, is the right back. Connor Townsend at left back. Eric Peters and Dara O'Shea are the two centre halves. Jay Malumbi and Okay Yakuslu, so another Turk in this game in central midfield. And here is where I think people will see the disparities in the two teams with this front four. There's a lot of good players here. Jed Wallace, classic old school winger, basically. He runs down the side of the pitch and he either shoots or he crosses it. It's very simple. It's very effective, though. John Swift probably... we did this the other day, actually, and I was at Watford versus West Brom. John Swift actually played down the left. I think Michael Brighton played down the right and Jed Wallace played down the middle. So we'll see how they line up. But John Swift, very good creative player, formerly of Reading. And of course, Mark Albrighton won the English title with Leicester City in that amazing campaign. The likes we'll probably never see again in 2016, if I'm getting the right year. Up top, Daryl DK scored twice in the last game. Obviously, was brought in for a lot of money, wasn't he, DK? And they just haven't managed to get him on the pitch regularly enough. When he plays, he does tend to get in amongst the goals, as he did for Barnsley as well. Let's have a look at the bench and then we'll get your thoughts. Reach, Malcolm, Chalobah, Richards, Gardner-Hickman, Ajayi, and Button on the bench. And we will get into your comments. Get your predictions in too. Sky are on an ad break, whoop-de-doo. And we are about 6 minutes from kickoff. Let's dive in here. Right, what have we got? Where do we start? Let's start with Henry, who says 3-2 Hull. Get your predictions in. Quite lucky we've got most of our team, apart from Palmer, Dean Garner, and Phillips. It's still strong in those positions, like you say, where those guys are missing. Is Jed Wallace the best player in the Championship? He's in the top tier of Championship players. I'm not sure he's the best. That would be a very detailed conversation with a lot of research and digging on my part, but certainly a good player that we've enjoyed. Darlow was a great signing. I'll have some great recruitment going in the right direction. Nice. Liam, hoping to watch some European football next season. You'd love to see it. Paul, how am I? I'm very good. In fact, let's cheers, everybody. I do have a glass of wine on the go, I have to say, tonight. So cheers. And before anyone asks, it's Argentinian and it's Malbec. What else have we got? Lenny, zero creativity. Well, I was trying to more politely say that than you, Lenny. Tufan, yes, maybe, but yeah, does look a bit light on the creativity front. I do agree. 2-1 Hull, says Yasser. Why are they called baggies? One of the West Brom fans asked that. I do not know. West Brom front three can be adapted. The three behind the front, they certainly can, can't they? We've seen Albrighton play wing back, haven't we? Swift in a double pivot or further forward. Wallace as a 10 or down the right hand, so I could invert him down the left as well. Looks like they've turned the lights off and we're getting some pyro displays at Hull. All good fun for the TV. Very interesting game, says you. And tomorrow, Millwall v Norwich. Yeah, could tell us a lot about either side that if we get a winner in that one. Jeff, morning from Christchurch, New Zealand. Good morning over there. Is it Saturday already? That's all right, isn't it? 4-2 West Brom, Dave. I would love that. We love loads of goals on the channel here, don't we? Is Josh Griffiths better than Button? I think he probably is. Tawi, if I'm not butchering your name there. Again, West Brom fans will tell you in more or with more authority than I will, but my view is that he probably is. Daryl DK will score a hat-trick, being stated as an objective fact there by I. Go and stick some money on that. You'll get good odds. Nat, welcome to you, sir. Sheffield United or Blackburn in the semi-finals. Yes, indeed. A championship team is going to the Cup. So they're all at Wembley as well, aren't they? Tremendous stuff. Jeff, I go with West Brom 3-1 from Christchurch, New Zealand. He's having a lovely old time down there. Could we see MK Dons v Wimbledon next season? We saw it last season, didn't we? And we've seen it a few times, but yeah, we could. MK struggling. I think West Brom have the best manager in lots of bests in the championship going on here. My grandma is better than David Button. I think West Brom will win the playoffs, says Henry. Get your predictions in, you lot, for this game. We are about to kick off. Let's do a roll call as well. So I'll count down 3, 2, 1. Don't type anything else. Just let me know the name of the team you support and we'll give them all a shout out so we know who we're represented by. Wait 1 second and we'll get a whole load of them in one go, hopefully. So I need the team you support in 3, 2, 1. Roll call. Go. I'm going to bang through the team news while you guys do that, and we can hopefully give a shout out to all of your teams, and we can see who we've got represented in the chat tonight. So one more time through the teams, and then we'll do the roll call in the chat. Darlow, Coyle, Jones, McLaughlin, Elder is the keeper and back four for Hull. Simmons, Doherty, Longman and Slater, Y2 fan of Tete. No Greaves, no Estupinian for Hull. For the Baggies, West Brom, Griffiths in goal. Fullbacks, Furlong, Townsend. Centre-backs, O'Shea, Peters. Central mid, Yokuslu, Malumbi. Albrighton, Swift, Wallace off DK. Let's have a look at who we're represented by in the chat here. Leeds United, Rotherham, West Brom, Millwall, Plymouth. Millwall, they're everywhere. Look, Barnsley, Millwall, and another one. West Brom, MK, good to have. We've got any Hull fans in? I thought Lenny was in earlier, wasn't he? Blackpool, Leeds. Now, I'm not reading that out. Any silly ones will not be getting read out on here. We are about to get going in this one. It is Hull versus West Brom. We'll stick the score up, even though we haven't started just yet. And we are ready to go. Liam Rossini just saying hello and shaking hands with all the Baggies staff. Blades, there we go. I'm a Glory supporter. I support. There you go, all the top sides. Go to Accrington Stanley away. Very nice too. I've been there. I've done it. If anyone's on a scouting mission, look out for Xavier Simmons. Performed very well in the absence of Sarah. Yeah, first time seeing him for me, Lenny. Paul, Cardiff versus Bristol City tomorrow. There we go. Badging the AKA, give it away for me. Plenty of teams represented in the chat. Very, very much looking forward to it. We're like rats, you're never more than 3 feet away. Evening to Stephen. MK Dunn's front three last season, was he, Crichton? Not quite like that this season. Right. We are all good to go. Not entirely sure why West Brom are wearing red. So didn't want 2 sets of stripes. But we're about to kick off. I'm watching on Sky Sports Football HD. If you want a time sync at any point, give me a shout. We try not to do too many. The players are taking the knee for whatever one takes the knee for nowadays. A few people stand and applaud. And it looks like Sky Producer's got his thumb up and we are off and have kicked off. I'll say straight away, some very irritating rugby-looking lines on the pitch, which might be good for some offside calls, but might be a bit irritating through the game. Real standing start here. No press from Hull early. No cut and thrust from West Brom in the first attack or phase of play of this game. But yeah, players have started running now. And the ball is, must have completed 8 passes without Hull touching the ball now, West Brom. Well, Furlong slips it on to DK. DK's actually in the box. DK works his man, tries to take it to the byline and cut it back. Just overruns it. Went slow, quick there. West Brom seemed to work. Jed or Fleming, who are you picking? I'll leave that one to the chat. Not much in it, is there? 2 very good players. Hull nil, West Brom 2. Rugby pitch, indeed. I think the teams that currently occupy the players will want a Hull win. Agree with that one, Stephen. Come on, Millwall. Save that for tomorrow, shall we? And we'll get through this one today. Millwall facing Norwich, as the chat has picked up. Cheers, everybody. Happy Friday night. Do hit the thumbs up button. Keep that debate and that chat going. It's always brilliant in there, and we'll read out as much as we can. Apologies if you write something that doesn't get read out, of course. Got to try and do the game and all of that good stuff. Support via Super Chat if you want. No obligation. But if you're not going to, at least hit the thumbs up button and help support our work here. Plenty of videos coming out during the week. You can get involved over on Patreon. If you are a Patreon, give us a shout and I'll see if I can operate my phone at the same time and we'll get you on at half time. Tete trying to hold it up. A little bit messy in the corner there. Slater trying to bring it out. Furlong wins it and feels like West Brom are in control of this first sort of 2 minutes. And as soon as I say that, big switch. Blasted about 8 feet over Jed Wallace's head and out for a throw-in. Shall I read that in character, John? Look at the size of that man. There he is. No Adama Traore tonight, sadly. And his arms the size of, well, I don't know. You tell me in the chat, what are Adama Traore's arms the size of? Albrighton clips that one down the line. I don't want to be negative early. Bit low on quality the first couple of minutes of this one. Bit stodgy. Hull sort of sitting in shape and West Brom not particularly looking set to take advantage of it. But we'll give it time. It'll settle, no doubt. Tete good hold up top. Very good hold, actually. Opens up, knocks that out into the left back, Elder. Elder knocks it down. We don't think there's too much creativity. You don't want to get too fat on the ball. They did there. Nice little swing out right by Doherty. Crossing position here. It's gone to the back stick from Coyle. Good attack. Furlong gets across, heads that out. I think it might have given a foul against him. In which case, that would be excellent play by Darnell Furlong because he didn't even look favourite to win the header, to be honest, let alone win a attacking free kick. A free kick for his side, you know what I mean? But he did. 4 minutes gone. What do we got here? What does the chat think about Forest Everton on Sunday? There we go. Put that out to the chat. Alistair, not watching the game, doing college work. Frustrating week when it comes to Reading. Yes, indeed. I'm sure we'll learn more about Reading's potential sanctions they're about to receive for not adhering to their approved business plan. DK into the box for West Brom. Looks out to Wallace. Wallace, nice little lay inside to Swift. To DK. Those are the names you're going to be wanting to hear mentioned if you're a Baggies fan. They make things happen. Swift again. Out to the right to Wallace. Crossing position. Wallace swings in. Lovely cross. Nice poor from Furlong on the near post. If that's maybe DK or maybe an on-rushing, a midfielder who can arrive in the box, that's a chance. Let's have a look, see if I'm being unfair to him. To be fair, he's in front of the line of the 6-yard box, so it would be an angle, but it's at least work the goalkeeper on that one, I think. Tete, another good hold-up. If the plan for Hull is to sit in shape and hit Tete's chest, it looks like it's working. Becomes short. Maybe one of the two West Brom central midfielders is going to have to drop in and deal with that. Helen, guest on the Championship prediction video, been brilliant. Enjoying it. Thank you, Helen. We knew we had to shake things up a little bit. The numbers had dropped, I have to say, on the predictions video, but they're back up now, which is tremendous. DK tries to knock it into all Brighton. It's gone to Wallace again down the right. West Brom on top. And again, bad timed bit of commentary there. Wallace gets his feet in a muddle and knocks it out for a goal kick. Is that Chris? Is it really Chris Wilder, John, on co-coms? Yeah, he definitely wants a job, doesn't he? So many have gone now as well. Dear me, Traore's arms are the size of Ronaldo's ego. There you go. A few comments on Everton and Forest in the chat as well. There you go. Must be game for Everton. And yeah, some thoughts on Everton's style of play. Let's just say 6:30 gone here. Wave if you disagree, but West Brom on top, aren't they? Malumbi. Peters. O'Shea. Malumbi drops in short. No real want to go and press high up the pitch from Hull. They're definitely looking to sit. I don't want to aggravate Dean Saunders after his outburst on TalkSport. Sit in a mid-block is what Hull are attempting to do here. If he's not going to get too triggered by somebody saying that. Use whatever words you're comfortable with, Dean Saunders. I think we're saying the same thing. Who do you think will get promoted through the playoffs? I went for Middlesbrough in a video earlier this week, but I'll probably change my mind all the way up to the playoff final. So that's my gift. Matthew, good evening. Here comes Swift down the left. Swift clips it in. Heads it away. Furlong. Into Wallace. Furlong. Knocked back out to Wallace. Crossing position again. Wallace swings it in looking for DK. Touch tight in the middle there. Good defending. DK says, I had my shirt pulled. It's not Ben. It's for a previous breach by the sound of it that was missed by the EFL. The suspended 6. Okay. We will find out more. All sounds a bit of a mess. And if the EFL miss a breach, well, don't know what that says about both parties there. We're two blind squirrels searching for nuts by the sounds of it. Who's on better form, Bradshaw or Akpom? Yeah, they're the two hot hands, aren't they, at the moment? Gyökeres as well looked great for Coventry, didn't he, against Sunderland in the early game. Some good strikers playing very, very well. And interesting, those three get brought up because you've got Bradshaw, who's the real penalty box poacher. You've got Gyökeres, who can kind of do all the different jobs that forwards get asked to do. And then you've got Akpom, who's playing in behind Archer and still getting loads of goals. So they'd make a very good front three, wouldn't they? Or a front two with Akpom playing behind. Not sure how you get your defensive balance if that was your team, but there you go. 79% possession, say Sky, to West Brom. My eyes are not lying. Malumbi, Wallace into the box, loads of space, puts the cross in. Oh, deflected goalwards, would have been a really lucky goal. And Darlow makes the save. It kind of deflected back onto, I think it was Albrighton arriving. West Brom are well on top now, aren't they? It's clipped back into Mark Albrighton. And it could have spooned up into the net. Darlow does really well, actually, because he has to just pat that back behind Daryl Dike, who's just going to head it in if he parries it to the side. And yeah, closest call. Yeah, West Brom. If this game continues in this pattern, West Brom will take the lead soon and probably win the game. So Hull need to kind of get their finger out a little bit. Dean Saunders should have swallowed a laptop. He might have stayed in a job longer. It was a good rant. I love a good rant, John. I retweeted it saying it was like a Curb Your Enthusiasm rant, which is right up my street. And old man yells at clouds type thing. And Gyökeres need to move up to a higher league. Could be a good fit. Maybe. Yes. I think Coventry fans have accepted that they'll probably, if they don't get promoted at some point this season, next season, probably going to have to cash in on him. Good player. Good age as well. Good skill set. Keep the debate going in the chat. It's 10 minutes 45 on the clock. West Brom well on top now. It was kind of a sort of stodgy start from both teams, and now West Brom are dominating, really. Haven't made a big chance yet, but nearly got lucky there for the first one. Callum, I'd want him to go to Brentford, given Tony might be banned for 6 months. Hey, maybe you could... Coventry... Well, I mean, he's there for the rest of the season because the window's closed, obviously. But yeah, it could be a big bidding war for Coventry unless they get in and win the playoffs. Might be a bit too far back for that, but you never know. I did agree with everything he said, just can't stand Sonny. Do you know, Dean Saunders always used to score past Ipswich, which great striker, wasn't he? Scored from absolutely miles out for Aston Villa against Ipswich once. Anyone in the chat remember that goal? Ron Atkinson's Aston Villa in 1993. They were a really good team, actually. We're coming up 12 minutes. Carlos Corberon is belting the instructions on. He must be happy with what he's seen so far. We're in it's a matter of time mode if the pattern stays the same, I would suggest. But we've seen plenty of games like this, haven't we, on the channel, where one team's dominating, the other gets a set play, pings it in the box and takes the lead, having barely entered the opponent's penalty box. So we shall see. I think Reading got over 100. Reading are indeed the record holders here, 106 points in 2006. That's going to be discussed a lot in the remaining weeks if Burnley carry on 2 points per game, or over, as you need quite a bit over. If you think about it, 92 is 2 points per game and Reading got 106. But the closer they get, the more it will be discussed, wouldn't it? If Everton stay up, Gyökeres is a typical Dyche. He is, yeah. Dyche loved her. Well, the teams that always seem to sign from the Championship, West Ham, the likes of Bowen and Ben Rama, and yeah, Sean Dyche's Burnley always signed from the Championship, didn't they? Sure, Brentford would be interested too, especially if Tony is banned from from whenever, really. All looks like it's going to work out that he'll be banned from the start of next season, maybe. Well, maybe they'll go easy on him and the ban will take in the 2-month gap. Obviously, if found guilty, blah, 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 but he's admitted the charges, hasn't he? So we think it's a matter of time. But let's not slander anybody's good name here. I'm Tony, great striker as well. The ball is back with Josh Griffiths. Hull noticeably sitting in a 4-5-1 when have clearly been told when the West Brom back four have the ball. Just sit, don't let them play it into midfield. To be honest, we did see a fair bit of this from Liam Rosenior's Derby. They did have good defensive numbers. So I'm talking about Rooney and Rosenior's Derby in the Championship. It could be a bit one-paced, but we all know they would have stayed up if it wasn't for the points deduction. Who's worse, Meslier or Button? I think we'll go with Button, but no disrespect, of course. I did see Button get done by Ismail Assar from well inside his own half earlier in the season, poor fella. We love to see it, but it's not nice for the keeper. Nice take by Yakuslu, a little ping through the lines to DK. Hull making it hard for West Brom to find any space to circulate the ball between their double pivot and their three off the front. Just not letting them have it, are they? Seems to be the tactic from Hull. So the entire game is basically can West Brom play through the Hull? Look away, Dean Saunders. Mid-block. Albrighton and Coyle going at it down the side. Cleared away. Tete tries to hold up. It's going to be a West Brom throw. Sam, opinion on Alex Scott? Well, we've followed Alex Scott for a good couple of years now, haven't we, on the channel? He's going to end up in the Premier League at some point. It's looking more and more like it will be this summer, doesn't he? But excellent player. Well brought through by Bristol City. To be doing what he's doing at his age in the Championship does suggest that he won't be here much longer. And we hope, on the basis of all EFL clubs and a lot of EFL fans in here, we hope Bristol City get paid what they deserve for nurturing him and bringing him through, and they can reinvest it and it doesn't all go out into agents' fees and all that nonsense. But there we go. Foul, I think, by McLaughlin down the right. We've got a free kick for West Bromwich. John Swift is going to take. Wallace, DK, Yakuslu, all in the middle. 16:30 up. Swift whips it in right-footed. Decent delivery, headed away. Headed away by Benjamin Tete, who's been by far Hull's best player in respect to the fact he's held up about 3 balls and made a good defensive contribution there. They've been kind of sat back along a lot part of the game. Slid inside, shot driven, spilled a little bit by Darlow. It was Jed Wallace, edge of the box, looking to find the corner there. It's not the best of finishes by Wallace, actually. A bit scuffy. Lovely takedown at the brilliant setup by Albrighton. He is closed down, Wallace, but he should probably do better with that player of his quality. It's cross swept in. DK heads goalwards. Darlow makes a save. DK drives it in wide. West Brom are absolutely battering Hull this first 17 minutes. They're now starting to make chances as well. Albrighton's just woken up on that far side. Lovely cross. DK, weird positioning by Darlow, but he makes the save nonetheless. And the chances are now coming. I think that one deflected off for a corner. We'll bring the numbers up in a little bit. But the eye test just says West Brom are all over Hull at the moment. So corner, then I assume Swift will swing this one in, right-footed. Here it comes into the near post, cleared by Coyle. Let's try and bring the numbers up and see if the stats meet our eye test. 72% on the possession. Okay, only 2 shots thus far, but it's building, isn't it? I think noticeably 0 XG on Hull. Townsend tries to kick that in. Out it goes. But yeah, the game is basically attack against defence, this one so far. Did I see Mark Clattenburg? I did not. Send us a link, Liam. Tweet us a link. Is this Paul Furlong's son? I believe it is. Can someone fact check me on that? Daniel Furlong is Paul Furlong's son, right? Is he? Alex Scott suits Brentford, but doesn't want to move earlier. I just wonder whether his value might now have gone up over and above Brentford, and it will be one of the top 8 that takes him. I don't want him to go to Spurs or something, just like Sessegnon, who was absolutely amazing in the Championship, and then just do nothing. But there we go. Who is your favourite team, not who you support? Oh, that's a question, isn't it? Well, I can tell you my favourite places to go. I'm always very well welcomed at Sheffield United, at Millwall, Luton, Watford. To be honest, everywhere is lovely. Norwich, despite being an Ipswich fan, they're always very nice, the fans at all of those clubs. You can't help but not like Burnley this season, can you? They've been incredible. Yes, I know they have a nice financial position, but they've been really great, haven't they? So, yeah, if that's not a sit on the fence answer, Wallace has to do better there. Yeah, I agree. John didn't quite get hold of that. Anything in the corner and he scores, doesn't he? DK, nice turn. DK slide inside. Swift. They get so many bodies back behind the ball now. Hull, it's just a very defensive looking 4-5-1 now, isn't it? As Bristol City fan, best player I've seen at the club. He's only 19. Yeah, he's a great player. Alex Scott, and he's brilliant. We've known that for such a long time, haven't we? You know, to be coming in at that age, you have to be good. What's the verdict on Daryl DK Championship? That's a great question. I'll leave that one with the chat. He's not a Premier League player for me yet. But what we've seen, i.e. half a good season with Barnsley and fleeting glimpses at West Brom, says he might be, but we just need to see way, way more. Hulk Hogan's Pythons, Adama Traore's Pythons. Love it. I'd like to know what Ben's Fantasy Championship... They will be coming at the end of the season. Don't worry, Power Mad. And remember, only one player per team, else it just gets a bit fanboy-y, doesn't it, hey? Liam Rossini is calling his players up. He can't be happy with this, can he? If you're playing this kind of spring-out, counter-attack style, you can't just sit there and the other team have the ball the entire game. The chances are you're gonna crumble at some point, especially with the quality, the likes of Wallace, Swift, DK, etc., Albrighton up top. Paul, come on, you baggies. My goodness, Ben. When are they going to give you your own TV channel? I've got one. It's my YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Paul. Very kind. Who's been the best player for Ipswich this season, Ben? We've got an injury hold, so we'll answer these questions. Connor Chaplin, probably inside forward. Liam Rossini is having a good chat with his players. Atron Ili-Charlie is looking on. He's on the screen at the moment. He can't be happy with what he's seeing either. It's 0-0, but West Brom are well on top. DK needs to score 15, 20 and a couple of consistency. Yeah, I think so, John. I think that's right. Liam, I shouldn't worry about our players getting sold in the summer and deserve to leave. Right. It's not working at MK, is it, Liam? They haven't got any kind of fresh start syndrome from Mark Jackson coming in. Lenny, this is hopeless. It's not been a good performance, has it? The only saving grace is it's 0-0 that West Brom haven't scored. But this game will end in a West Brom win if the pattern stays the same, won't it? Slater's just about to come back in. What is Barry Banner's level? I think mid-championship. It's probably top 10 championship. I think. If he was in a team that could indulge him in the championship, he could probably play for any championship team, couldn't he? Loving talking in the chat. Good. Keep it moving, Ben. We love having you in there. And I needn't really tell you which side has the ball. It's West Brom. Go figure. Albrighton comes down the left. A good battle, actually, though, between Coyle and Albrighton. Coyle's had the better of in the last couple of 1v1s. Nice, big, fierce tackle by Louis Coyle again there. Right, the ball is back with Darlow in goal for Hull. I wonder if they can just string some passes together and get something moving. They've gone very vertically there and they've given it straight back to West Brom in 2 passes, sadly. They've got it back, though, Hull. And look, I'm completely impartial here, but if I'm a Hull fan, I'm shouting now, keep the ball, move it around, give everyone a feel of it. You know, grow some confidence. They've obviously been told, presumably a minute or two ago from Rossignol, get it forward when you get it. Hit the front, guys. That's what they appeared to do there from like left back position both times. Just woof. Excuse me. Harley, excuse me. Do you think Sheffield United could still bottom second place? Too far ahead. They could bottle it. I don't think they will actually. We did loads on this last year with Nottingham Forest chasing Bournemouth, and at the top of the table, teams that have been up there most of the season don't tend to sink massively like a stone. I know you can give me examples like Steve McLaren's Derby did, but that would already started happening at this point in the season, hadn't it? I think, if I'm correct. We're at March now. Albrighton cuts that one back into the area. Townsend cut it back to Albrighton, took it off Malumbi's toe. Yokuslu tries to play that through the gap, and Hull win it back. Paul, Leeds fan, how's Leif Davis been this season? Absolutely brilliant. Paul shouldn't be playing in League One. I know lots of League One fans are annoyed that Ipswich have paid £1 million for fullback in League One, but he's obviously not a League One player and has come for the project, which is great. But you would think he wouldn't hang around massive lengths of time if Ipswich aren't getting promoted. But he's very good, Paul. Very good indeed. Look at his numbers. Cleared by Elder, who's now left his station. They're lucky they don't give that away there. Hull. Switch of play out to Coyle. And can Hull string some passes together and build an attack? They've hit the front again. Tete is surely offside. Well, I stand corrected, because I said if I were Hull, I'd be circulating the ball now. And look, I don't know as much about football as Liam Rossignol does, obviously. But he clearly just had them all in a huddle talking to them. And since then, they've gotten the ball a few times and knocked it into the front nice and early. So that's obviously the strategy, is to sit in, don't press the back four particularly. And when you get the ball, hit Tete and try and get the wide forwards in off him. Elder knocks that one back. Hoyt clear. To be fair to Hull, they have had more of the ball since that injury stop and Rossignol spoke to them. Wallace now down the right. He's going to try and run Elder. Wallace pops the cross in. Deflects up. It's gone in towards the near post. Try to hold it up in there, but it's cleared away. Not back in, headed away by Elder. Bit messy there, and we get a Hull free kick. Right, pressure is all on Baggies. They have to go up this season, very much so. Yeah, I suppose that works in Hull's favour in the short term in this game. There are Syed Manesh and Estepinian, both on the bench. I'm sure Estepinian's quite pleased he's not playing in this game, because he wouldn't have got many touches, I tell you. Hull up there giving loads of space to the Baggies, yet particularly the back four. Most happy for them to have the ball. That is just appalling. A big switch of play out from a dead ball, just booted straight out of play there. What's happened to Cole Stockton this season? If you don't know who Liam's talking about, Morecambe striker, scored a ton of goals last season. And to be fair, one of our Blue Monday lads, Joe, actually called this, that Cole Stockton, sometimes when you get a player, and I'll use the word small club, don't get offended by it. Morecambe have less money and less fans than most of the other clubs in League One. I respect them, of course, but that's an objective fact that they do. But player scores a load of goals for a small club. Sometimes it can just be a lightning in a bottle season. Ipswich had it with a player called Joe Piggott, who scored a load of goals for Wimbledon. And just didn't work. Couldn't make the step up when he moved up into a kind of different level, really, of expectation. So yeah, I think that's what's happened to Cole Stockton. Clip down the line. There is Jed Wallace. Lovely control. Wallace comes inside on the left foot. Surely he wants that on his right. Knocks it back to Furlong. Furlong, lovely little pick out for Malumbi. Back to Wallace. Oh, the ball was on for Furlong, wasn't it? Little slip inside. Oh, half cleared. There's a handball being given in there, possibly against Furlong. There was a nice little easy ball through there from Wallace to a player of Wallace's quality to Furlong that he didn't quite see, that would have completely sliced them open then. Restart for Hull then. Harley, out of Wednesday, Plymouth and Ipswich, who do you think would be most likely to stay up should they get promoted? Look, don't get me wrong, Plymouth are brilliant and they're superb and they're in a much better position than Ipswich, but I would think they would have the most struggles just on finances. But yeah, it's a good question, and I did say this week, I think Plymouth, if they get through the next 3 games fairly unscathed, I think they'll do it. I really do. So that home form doesn't drop off. Stephen, how long can the Hull resistance hold out for? Well, they're 30 minutes in, Stephen. Longer than I thought it would. I suppose they've improved a little bit since the injury hold to Slater. Jones has been penalised there for the foul on Malumbi. It's one of those ones where 50-50, whoever gets to the ball second is going to concede a foul. And if I have called it right, I think that was Jones. Yeah, Swift is going to take the free kick. We should have put a buyback clause, and it was obviously only needed a run of games, raw pace for a fullback. Free kick goes into the back stick. Furlong gets a head on it. Easy gather for Carl Darlow. Stockton, a one-season wonder. Yeah, maybe. I wish we signed Colby Bishop when he was at Accrington. Absolutely. Chris Wilder sounds like he's been sampling the corporate facilities. What are you insinuating, John? Has he had a few of these, do you think? I reckon he's a beer man, Wilder, not wine. Long man, forward for Hull. Hull are in the penalty box. Clipped in by Slater. Straight into the arms of Josh Griffiths. Easy gather for the young West Brom keeper. And guess what? We're going to go back to the pattern that has been prevalent for most of the 32 minutes we've played thus far. Keep the chat going, guys. This is going to be a one-speed game until there's a goal. If Hull somehow take the lead, then West Brom are going to have to throw the absolute kitchen sink at them. And if West Brom take the lead, maybe Hull can come out of their slightly defensive strategy and shape, let's just say. Knocked into Tete, who's done well again. Lovely header down to Slater. It's going to break for Tete. Tete hits the shot. And would you believe it? Hull City have taken the lead. Unbelievable. Probably the most against the run of play goal you will see all season. But we just mentioned Hull could take the lead. It's a great finish by Tete. Gets a bit of a lucky bounce. I think it comes off a West Brom player, which probably would have been offside if it had come off a Hull player. It's a great finish. And Carlos Corberan will be absolutely furious with this. It was headed down by Tete. Slater brought it in. There you go. Comes off a West Brom player, so he's not off. Such a great finish. Smacks it into the top corner. This does definitely come off the West Brom. Comes off Yokuslu, doesn't it? So he can't be offside. I think it comes off Yokuslu and then clips Slater. So I'm sure VAR would have fun with that. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. But ladies and gentlemen, I know it's a meaningless saying, but that is football. Hull City have had zero attacking ambition, have sat behind the ball. West Brom have had 70% possession, and Hull lead 1-0. And I said a minute before that goal, if that does happen, West Brom have really just got to commit to attacking. Not that they weren't, but really commit to attacking. In comes the cross for the Baggies straight away. Elder heads it out for a corner. I'm interested to see your reaction to the goal. There you go. OMG. 2-2 prediction back on. Laugh out loud, out of nothing. I'd like to see the offside line. It did look like it touched Yakuslu and then Slater. So the offside call is a reasonable question to ask. In comes the corner, headed goalwards. O'Shea appealing. How on earth, Leddy? Well, take it, mate. Take it. I said 2-1 Baggies. He can score what DK couldn't. 1-0 in terms of Tete versus DK. How can you not love the Championship? Great finish, but isn't that the Championship all over? Yeah, incredible. I suspect if I polled you guys and said, I'm going to take your life savings if you're wrong, tell me who scores first in this game, most of you would have said West Brom, wouldn't you? But there you go. Tete in it goes. Surely handball there. Great save by Griffiths, actually, the West Brom keeper. Tete tried to chest it down. Touch of the Paul Mersons there. He always used to chest control with both arms out, didn't he? Clipped in. Yeah, it's definitely a handball, isn't it? Great save by Griffiths, by the way. But the flag was already up. Who's more likely to stay up out of Rochdale in League 2 and Forest Green in League 1? Rochdale are more likely to stay out than Forest Green, I think, Ben. But I think we're nice as going jail territory here. I think they're probably both in a lot of trouble. Forest Green look shot, don't they, in League 1? Unless Big Dunk can get them going. Slip through now. Tete is into the left channel. He's got support as well that he finds immediately. I think it was Simmons, wasn't it? In comes the cross from Doherty. Headed goals by Slater. Deflected off. I think it was O'Shea back there. Maybe Peter. Sorry, it all happened too quickly. And through. And Apollo would vote West Brom hesitantly. There you go. Doesn't trust the Championship. Hello from Nando's, Russ. Unbelievable scenes. What are you having? Typical Championship. If Hull win this with a clean sheet, that's ridiculous they do, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. Which league has been the most enjoyable to watch? I've liked the title race in League 1. Obviously, the Championship's always box office, isn't it? League 2 tends to be a bit Hunger Gamesy, doesn't it? Slater knocks that one outside. Tufan. Oh, good cross. Really made the defenders defend there. O'Shea's furious that cross was allowed to come over. I think it's time for the live league table. Callum, that, my friend, is a great shout. Let me tee it up and then I can bellow out. Let's go to the live league table, which will look better for Hull than it does for West Brom, obviously. And there they are, going up to 13th. West Brom will stick in 11th, and this will be very bad for West Brom, won't it? Because you can see teams above them can start to really put a gap in. Clipped into the back post. Ooh, Griffiths gets a hand on it. It's going to be recycled by Doherty. DK back doing defending. Finno Peter added pineapple and cheese. Off to buy the beers for the train tomorrow. Unbelievable stuff. You love it. It's been a bad advert for the... No, it hasn't, Gareth Southgate. It's been an amazing advert for the Championship. One team dominates, the other team scores. Box office stuff. Long throw in. Lobbed in. There's the header back. Tete tees it up. Shot deflected. Tete! Flying volley there. Good block by O'Shea as well. It's another corner. Tete is causing havoc up top. He's pretty much the only effective Hull player, and he's beaten up on that West Brom defence all by himself. Great effort, this, actually. It pings up and he sort of flying volleys. Great effort, actually. Always in danger of getting done for a high foot there. Corner then for Hull City. And it comes from the right-hand side in Swinger. A decent header by Furlong. He's been very good, the fullback, in the air tonight. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, Lord. There's a song everywhere, isn't there? Baggy's midfield. Stop tracking runners like they did against us. Too easy for Hull to score. Hi, Ben. Been a while. Hope you're good. I am good. Always good. Thoughts on Wagner so far? Interesting. I think we find out more tomorrow. Beating the teams you think they might beat? Can they go away to Millwall and get the win? We all think that Norwich squad should be in the playoffs, though, don't we? So, minimum. Can he get them in there? Have a great stream. Enjoy your Nando's. What's your thoughts on Bristol City? Be more specific, Ryan. What about Bristol City? The ball is back with Darlow. Handed back to West Brom. I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Phil Collins, everybody. And the most famous drum fill in the history of pop music, right? Furlong plays the channel looking for Wallace. Wallace is trying to run his man. That wasn't Elder, the fullback, was it? McLaughlin, the centre back there. I don't know where Elder had got to. Season 85-86 was the last season where the top three teams in the second division practice top flight. The teams went up with Norwich, Charlton and Wimbledon. Fact. Long throw-in coming from Furlong, who's kicking back the advertising boards, moving the furniture. In it comes. Headed away. Little nod down. Hull clear their lines. And there is Tete, who's the de facto man of the match. Nice little slip into Wallace in the box. Wallace, poor ball. Cleared away. Almost had too much time there, Wallace, didn't he? Here's Coyle. Oh, lovely ball by Coyle. Beautiful pass by the right back with the outside of his foot. Unfortunately, Tufan ran into trouble. Pass of the game, that was. Hey? 2 mentions for the Gorilla playing the drums to In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins in the chat. Unbelievable. Did you see that tour or the footage of that tour Phil Collins does where he's got the little headset mic on, he's walking around singing it, and you don't know that the drums are going to come out of the ground. He's going to quickly jump on to play the do-doof, 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 do-doof. All the musos in the... Oh, we're seeing the Tete goal now. We don't get to see the offside line. It's a great finish, isn't it? He really spins and hits that so powerfully and so accurately. If you're being really unfair on Griffiths, you say, could he have got more on it? But I don't think it's the keeper's fault, to be honest. Looking at the League One table now, it's Barnsley in the top 6. Looks like they're coming up. I'm putting my mortgage on Rotherham going down. Neither can be in the same division. Yeah, we're going to learn a lot more, John, about Barnsley in the next few weeks. And I can announce exclusively on this stream, on March the 21st, I got my ticket today. I will be at Barnsley versus Sheffield Wednesday in the flesh. That should be lovely. A real high temperature League One Yorkshire promotion head-to-head, that one. Why is my phone buzzing? Right, Shaylee has Snapchatted me, everybody. What does it say? It says, you see that? Still waiting for my food and a picture of the oven. I think she's getting Mexican or something. That's the deal if I'm in here doing the stream. Vlog for that, 100%. Really looking forward to that. I think Barnsley played Plymouth as well. He just played Derby, didn't they? Cross swung in. Tete holds it up again. Doherty. Coyle. Doherty. Tufan. Flat cross. Cleared. And West Brom get that. Well, it's poor clearance, isn't it? Dubai Canary. How am I doing? I am good. I'm enjoying the chaos and the carnage of the Championship tonight, where we said for the entire 30 minutes of this game, West Brom are all over Hull. If this plays out, they're going to win, and then Hull take the lead with pretty much the first shot on goal. Oh, wow. Gift that one up. The worst cross you'll see all season there. Who was that down the left wing for Hull? Volleyed it into the stand. It was Ryan Longman down the left wing. The two best singing drummers are Phil Collins and Don Henley. Can't argue with that, actually. Good shout there. Rotherham's great point at Preston. Home form will save them. Rotherham were good the other night. We did Swansea, Rotherham. It should have won, shouldn't they, Rotherham? Swansea were a bit pants, weren't they? A bit, what's the word? A bit fluffy. Probably got better players than Rotherham, but Rotherham, I thought, should have won that one. There you go. Kieran, please do the watch along for Derby versus Ipswich. Derby versus Ipswich. Is that on Sky now, Kieran? Give me the date. If it's not on a Saturday and it's on Sky, I'll do it, but I don't think it'll end well for Ipswich. When do you think we'll see an awesome season in the Champ like 18-19 was? They're 1 in 8-10 years, those type of seasons, aren't they? So we're probably due one in a year or two. But yeah, it was a great season, wasn't it? Apart from my lot finished bottom, but objectively looking at the league, clipped in the corner for Longman to chase. Furlong very cleverly there, not letting Longman take the throw. He knew exactly who that ball came off last. Callum Elder comes up to take it. Elder's taken too long for the throw-in. And ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed half time. Hull lead 1-0. Strange game, this. Kicked off, and I didn't like Hull at all for the first 20, 30 minutes of this game. Sitting in a kind of 4-5-1, not really getting hold of the ball. 80% possession conceded. Okay, West Brom didn't create masses, did they? But all of a sudden, ball breaks to Tete in the box. Great finish. And Hull have seen the remaining sort of 15 minutes or so out. And we go in at half time, and it's Hull 1, West Brom 0. And I suspect the West Brom players are about to get yelled at by Carlos Corberan for how on earth they've managed to get themselves in the position that they are in. Hull fans will all take it, won't they? Happy days. So there you go. Nearly 70%. So 68-32 on the possession to West Brom. 0.67, 0.31 on the XG in West Brom's favour. 8 shots to 4. As you can imagine, all the numbers there, other than corners, kind of go in favour of Hull. But you know the deal, don't you? You've got to stick the ball in the back of the net, haven't you? And you've got to stop the other team sticking the ball in your net. And that is what Hull have amazingly done better than West Brom in this game. Have I got a live league table on that page? I think I have to click this button. Can you still see that over there? Sorry, I'm showing you nothingness. There you go. So West Brom could, if they won this game, be going above Watford. That ain't happening at the moment. And there are Hull just slipping above Bristol City, Reading, Swansea, etc. Well, not etc. Those are the only teams they're slipping above with a 3-pointer at the moment. You tell me, really. How do you imagine this second half playing out? The Hull improve and go on and sort of win the game? Or do West Brom really come out with a bit between their teeth and blow Hull away in the second half? We'll go to the chat on that one, I think. The Lions stand. Am I all right? I am good, my friend. Am I doing the Patreon? I haven't had any replies, actually. Let me just look in my phone, Ben. I don't think anyone's coming on today. We'll organise it with more time tomorrow. No. Yeah, this is the Benjamin Bloom football chat. The WhatsApp group. You can join that if you join up on Patreon. I know there you go. We've got Chris and John and Dave all in the chat. But yeah, I think it's just me. So get your questions in. Chris, did Hull think the game started at 8:30? Something like that, Chris, I reckon. John, Baggy's Achilles heel showing again. Need to be more clinical at the top end of the pitch. Yeah, just balmy that they went behind, isn't it? What do we got here? Anyone coming on could possibly ramble on for 5 minutes. Dave, you need to give me more notice than that, matey. But we'll get you on, I promise, on the next one. Ham's a really poor half. Even when we were dominating, we weren't doing anywhere near enough. Have to be quicker in possession. Second half, else Hull will just sit on this. Yeah, just odd way for a team to end up 1-0 up in a football match, wasn't it? What is this advert with all these rock stars? There's Billy Idol and Ozzy Osbourne. What are we advertising here? These are some of my heroes here. And Paul Stanley from Kiss. What is this? What is this advert on Sky? Work Day. God, they must have paid a lot to get that lot on there. Deary me. Any more comments? Will there be an end of season stream? It depends what I'm doing for ITV, Nat. So I think last day of the season, I think I'm in on the Monday because the King's coronation is on that weekend and then League One play on Sunday. So there might be a League One if I can't get a ticket to Fleetwood, if Ipswich are anywhere near, let's just say. But we will figure it out. I think West Brom are just a mid-table championship. But are they, Ben? Are they? They've shown such potential to make a playoff challenge. And yeah, I mean, can't argue with it. You're saying they're a mid-table team. They're in mid-table, but just seem to have more potential than that, didn't they? Would have jumped on mid-takeaway. That sounds nice. Very nice. Joshua, West Brom are awful, baffling how we lost to them last week. Yeah. Well, West Brom are better than this, put it that way. But yeah, poor defeat for Middlesbrough last week. Sky are just showing the Liam Rossignol powwow little chat before the goal. I mean, I don't think there was anything he told them rocket science there. It's literally a long ball forward. He heads it down, Tete. A little deflection kind of runs for him. We'll get to see the offside line here. Let me see if he is actually offside. He's not offside, no. We were kind of discussing whether it would come off the West Brom foot. I think it's it's too many Turkish players here. It was Yakuslu. But he wasn't offside anyway. It's just a great finish. Right. Interesting to see how we approach the second half, given our options on the bench. Well, that's a good point, Lenny. There is, we said Greaves and Estupinian are kind of two first teamers on the bench for Hull. We shall see. Everton v Bournemouth, 28th of May. Is it that late? So the playoffs will all be 28th of May. That's literally one of the playoff. That's playoff Saturday for, was it the Sunday? Someone will tell me in the chat. The 3 playoffs are 27, 28, 29. That must be the Sunday. God, that's late for the Premier League, isn't it? Deary me. The wine looks good. Where's it from, Joshua? It's from Marks and Spencer's. And I got one of those little, actually, is it there? There you go. It's right there. One of those little tiny ones, so I don't drink too much. Rastraz Argentinian Malbec in a tiny little bottle. There you go. Happy days. If they don't go up, be lucky to be around, let alone, well, yeah, we'll see what the financial situation is for West Brom. You would think players will be being sold quite quickly in summer at West Brom if the loan repayments and whatnot, the parachutes ending, play out how we think they're going to. I blame Sky Sports. We play well when Sky Sports aren't covering us. Oh, Hamza. The amount of fans of different clubs who think there's some kind of curse on them when they're on TV. I'm not sure. Not sure. Too small for you. Yeah, indeed. Apologies. Let me just remove this irritating spammer. Let's block him. There he goes. Bye-bye. Feel powerful when you block someone, don't you? There you go. Malbec, lovely. Come on, you Lions. Says PNW Lion. Question, Ben. Would you like the German playoff system? Unfortunately, I'm the dude. You're going to have to tell me what the German playoff system is for me to be able to answer that. Ben Bloom, curse at Leeds. Out with the spammer. There he goes. I am a massive fan of the playoff system, how it is. I think it's brilliant. I think it's dramatic. I think it really perks up the second half of the season. So, yeah, the German one will have to, whatever it is, if someone answers in the chat, we'll have to go some to be better than the one we have got. By the way, do hit the thumbs up button. I would really appreciate that if you did. Helps as many people see the stream as is possible. There's a curse on Blues whenever they play a game of this thing called football. Dear oh me. How do you think Scarlett is getting on at Pompey? Not great, really, in my humble opinion. I think neither Danny Cowley or John Mousinho kind of puts him in as a first teamer. As Bishop's their main striker, isn't it? So, yeah, I think the question that came up earlier, Parrott last season, Gazumps, Darlow, Scarlett this season at Pompey, doesn't he? Since when did Hull have Carl Darlow in goal? BS7. January. Sunderland beat Birmingham on Sky. There you go. Right, here you go. Team that finished 16th plays against the team who finished third. No, I'm the dude. Don't like that at all. That's how, it's not your fault, obviously. You don't make the rules. That's how the playoffs started. And, of course, Ipswich were in them the first season and lost to Charlton. My belief is if you have divisions in football, you compete against the division that you're in. You don't compete against the division higher or the division lower. If you are not good enough in the division you are in, get out. You don't play against a team in a division lower who've got better players than and more money than, etc. So, no, I've never been a fan of, the division above playoff business. Not for me. I think the teams in the lower division are disadvantaged by that, and I think they should get the chance. That's just my humble opinion, of course. Heard that Scarlett's got, well, your words, not mine. The truth will out. If we lose against Rotherham, I'm a very worried Benny boy, says BS7. Well, we shall see. We'd have to finish higher than bottom to worry about that. Yeah, right. Championship playoff final prediction. I think Borough to take revenge on Norwich. Agent Ben Gibson with the own goal. Nice. There'll be at least one parachute team in the playoff final, won't there? So that means either West Brom, Watford or Norwich will be in there. Borough. I'd love to see Luton, Millwall or Blackburn get in there, by the way, before you before you think I'm not acknowledging their excellent efforts this season. Just money talks, doesn't it? Money talks. Money talks. Dirty cash, I want. Who sings that song in the chat? Dirty cash, I need you more. Bound and out. I don't like it, but I think it stops teams over. I seriously that means spending on cannon for the players since there's only one space. But I do agree with you, though. Cham De Silva. Long time, Ben. Hope you're well. I'm good. Very good. Borough to beat Millwall in the final, which you can imagine Millwall at Wembley in the Championship. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? They would do the longest Mill. Norwich have to finish in the top 6. I can't stand Russ saying, I told you so, summer otherwise. Be very, very long summer, that, wouldn't it? As you're watching Hull, thoughts on Honeyman now at Millwall. Is he a regular still? PNW line? You'll know better than me. Long time since I've been on it. Too busy watching. All right, Cham De Silva, don't get cocky. Don't get carried away with Brentford. No, Brentford have done brilliant, haven't they? Absolutely tremendous. Obviously, that Ivan Toney story is developing as we go. Half time, by the way, Hull 1. West Bromwich Albion 0. Hit the like button if you're in the chat. I know it might seem silly, but it really helps me out if you do hit that button. As I see an advert for Sky Cinema. What is Black Phone? That looks scary. Elvis, that looks more up my street. And Minions. Enid would like that. Ah, great question. What rule would you add to football if you could add one? Oh, Callum, too many. I am a big advocate of the stop clock. So don't all yell at me. I would go 30-minute halves and an actual stop clock. I would make the penalty box smaller as well, because I think sometimes things that get a free shot from goal for 12 yards aren't... I think the punishment doesn't fit the crime. So I'd have a smaller penalty box. What else would I do? Oh, God, there was a rule I was talking or a law I was talking about the other day where I thought the law was just nonsense. It might have been like a handball thing. I can't think. God, if I had time to think about it, loads of them. Please do watch along for Norwich v Sunderland on Sunday. Kieran, I'm going to tell you in advance, Sunday, I work all day Saturday. Sunday morning is family time de facto. So unless we're done by 11:45 or whatever, but unlikely. I'd like it to be a good game now, actually. I'd like to do it, but there we go. Yes, for the most part, man of the match recently, Honeyman has more competition. Interesting. We're nearly there. Take some more questions. Other than silly coloured seats in the stadium, I don't have much to throw at Brentford these days. Can't take another loss. We're top sinking like a stone. There you go. Well, I won't mention Everton, but stop clock would be good, wouldn't it? Make the goal bigger since goalies are getting taller. Allow drinking in the stands. Oh dear, we don't. I think football fans are already silly enough without booze in the stands, are they? But I don't know. You know what they say about certain things. If you stop people having something, they abuse it. Whereas if you actually just let them have it, they abuse it less. So there you go. Yellow card for play acting can still be awarded the foul if it was, but take a booking for the reaction. Nice. Refs must face an independent body of investigation over conducts and decision. I think they already do. They just need as much help as they can get, don't they? Bless them. Imagine if they allowed toilet breaks like they do in tennis. Would you make the box into a semicircle? That's a nice. I like that, actually. Now, there you go. Thinking caps on there. Right, we have kicked off. VAR in the Championship. Definitely huge advocate of that. Scrap transfer windows. I tell you what I would do. I would not have transfer windows during the season. If we have a 2-week break, that would be the transfer window as well. So you don't get ridiculous, people's seasons ruined by transfer nonsense, rubbish. That's a great shout. In penalty shootouts, managers should take the 12th penalty. Or they should go through the subs, shouldn't they? Although I suppose injury permitting. Right. Hull 1, West Brom 0. What's going to happen in the second half? The story in the first half is that West Brom pretty much dominated the first half hour, and then Hull scored. Football, everybody. We'll do the teams. Sorry, we're just getting in this debate of new laws. 2 minutes sin bin. Toilet breaks, more like the theatre. 2-week break should be loan windows. Red card, you can finish the match but blindfolded. 12 penalty and upstep. Steve Evans. Oh, Stevenage in the penalty shootout. You would love to see it. I tell you what, a lot of you have said it in the chat in these games. I don't think they've got it right with denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity and when someone stops a counter-attack. I don't think there's that much difference between those two. I think they're both orange cards. Oh, nice little slip through. West Brom into the box. DK! Oh, good save by Darlow. Oh, it was cut back and DK hit the shot. Decent shot, actually. First time towards the corner. Good save by Carl Darlow. Swung in. Nice little chest down. And Wallace completely shanks that one left-footed wide of the post. Right, let's get you the teams once again. No subs at half-time. In fact, let's have a little look at that. Lovely ball in. Oh, DK's just got to get a bit more on that, hasn't he? Little bit scuffy. Clean shot. And he's got that into the corner. Darlow's not getting there. Right, shanked out by Griffiths. And let's quickly look at teams. So Hull, Darlow in goal. Coyle, Jones, McLaughlin, Elder. Simmons, Doherty, Slater, Tufan, Longman. Tete up top. West Brom, Griffiths, Furlong, O'Shea, Peters, Townsend, Yokusli, Malumbi, Wallace, Swift, Albrighton, and DK up top. It is 1-0 to Hull, and we are 48 minutes in. West Brom need something out of this at the moment. They're getting nothing, and Hull are going to get a lovely 3 points that look quite unlikely for much of the first half, but they are in front. Give Wallace some cheese, Gromit. Baggy's lack of clinical finishing. Yeah, it was a bit, wasn't it? They need to heap the pressure up now, don't they? That little extra bit of speed in attack. They know Hull, because they've been doing it most of the game. They know Hull are going to sit right back, aren't they? We shall see. Peters, O'Shea, Yakuslu. Strong on the ball. Furlong. A poor layoff there by Jed Wallace. Gives it away. I bet he's going to foul his man now. To be fair, he hasn't. He's got skinned by him. Long man. He's going to foul him now. Long man gets a cross in. Looking for Tete. Cleared away. Furlong gets it out. Need a top-up. I do need a top-up, but I deliberately don't have one. I've got to work tomorrow. I need a clear head. Although there is booze inside, actually. Shaylee has taken to drinking this gin and Dubonnet, which, I tell you, that gives you a good night's sleep. Oh, Tufan spin, shot blocked. It's gone loose. Driven in again and deflected up. Griffiths gathers it. That's a chance, that. Opened up inside the box for Tufan. The block was on, though. Here's DK. Does well down the left-hand side. And Coyle, in no uncertain terms, smashes him and gets that ball cleared perfectly legally. Two players hit the deck there. Don't know what happened there. It was DK was one of them. Doherty, the Hull midfielder, was the other. 1-0 Lazio. Hell of a goal. You love to see it. What's chat's drink of choice tonight? Get them involved. What are you drinking? If you're underage, don't feel excluded. Put your cup of tea down there, yeah? Foul on Tete. Tete's played well, actually, hasn't he, the whole forward? He's not done a lot wrong. Rum. Nice. Slightly off topic. What shampoo do you recommend? Tresemme in the big black bottle. Diluted orange. Brewdog Lost. Water. There we go. Yellow cards come out for Jay Malumbi. His 9th of the season. He is cruising for a, what is it, 2-match ban for 10 yellow cards? Budweiser. I love a Budweiser. Coke Zero. Madra. I'm from Scotland. Why is McLaughlin starting over Greaves? Don't know. Good question, that. We looked at the whole bench and saw Greaves and Estupinian and thought, well, are they first teamers? Or is he just trying to be clever and manage their minutes? Hey, if they win, he'll look very clever, won't they? They'll win without them. Coyle slips that into Tete. Coyle wanted it back, didn't get it. Tufan, Doherty, Tufan over on the right wing. Tufan back to Doherty. Fairly impotent looking whole passing, I have to say. I think they kind of scored in the only way they were going to score, didn't they, in the first half? Sorry, it feels like I'm slagging Hull off. They're literally winning. Booty clear by Eric Peters, formerly of Stoke City. Do follow me on Twitter if you haven't already, at Benjamin Bloom. What's going on Twitter? Oh, I've got 17 notifications. There we go. Scroll down some of them. Get involved. And Instagram and all of that stuff as well. Little coming together there between Furlong and Longman, I think, on the left-hand side. Nothing given. Who is it today? Is that referee Linnington? Sorry, my phone's going off now, isn't it? You can hear that beeping. Sorry, my bad. Who's the ref, guys? Yeah, referee Linnington. Nothing doing there. Longman hits the deck. He's kind of already looking back at the ref when he's falling, which is a little bit of a telltale sign. Derby v Ipswich game Saturday. Yeah, I'll be working, Kieran. Corner Hull taken short. Sky didn't catch that. Shot driven in. Oh, Christ, that did not miss by much at all. Xavier Simmons. I think the keeper doesn't see that, and I don't think he's saving it. Hopefully they'll get us the hanging camera behind the goal. That did not look like it missed by much. Come on, Sky, give us a good angle. We didn't get one. The first angle looked the best one. Goodness me. Did you read Blues training ground fired today? Oh, dear. I did not. McLaughlin has been one of our most consistent performers. Top defender. There you go. There's the reason. Oh, dear. Furlong puts that straight out of play. Often when that happens, if you're in the stadium and the ball's just given away in really crap fashion like that, the manager immediately calls a sub over and he's like, right, he's literally just done exactly that, Corberon. The manager will go, no, enough. Subs, get over here now. We're changing it. I knew Bellingham awesome for Birmingham, but didn't think he would have got as good. Did you think the same? Well, we have our good friend John, who had me filled in on Bellingham literally from his first appearance. John, do you remember that? I think he's still in the chat. At Pompey in the League Cup. So Bellingham was, so I did think he was going to be that good because we'd been hyped up to me right from the start and we've been watching from the start. Where did I see Bellingham play in central midfield? I can't remember. I was at the game and I was like, okay, yeah, I get it now. But yeah, so I was actually on that train, not being wise after the event. You can wind back on the channel in the archives, probably hear me talk. Oh, Clever no eyes ball there. Tete is in. Oh, good save, Griffiths. Oh, goodness me. Tete made a great run there and he absolutely larruped the shot at goal. Goodness me. I wonder if that hit. Did that hit the post or something? He looks offside, actually, doesn't he? If Sky got the freeze frame right. No, it was all on Griffiths. I'd like to see the freeze again. Just when he went, looked like he was leaning offside. So maybe justice was done by the save. Good save by Josh Griffiths in goal. And we are out. Corner, Hull, near post, and headed into the back of the net. It is 2-0 to Hull. Who's been congratulated there in the... I can't quite see. I think it might be McLaughlin, actually. It's been headed in on the near post, and this has got to go down. I don't want to make it all about West Brom, as a truly dreadful performance by West Brom. They were so dominant in the first 30 minutes. They are now 2-0 down, and Hull have barely been in the box, have they? Do you know, I think that goes in off O'Shea, doesn't it? See another replay. Might be an own goal. McLaughlin throws his hand up. We've got a good angle here. Let's have a look. No, that's an own goal, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's going to be an own goal for Dara O'Shea. Goodness me. Yeah, the camera's on him after about 5 replays. Unfortunately, I didn't slow any of them down, which wasn't massively helpful. Nat Chalobah has come in for Darnell Furlong. So I'll probably change his shape there. We'll figure that out as we go. Hull 2, West Brom 0. Who saw that one coming then? Not me. Let's have a look in the chat. Ad break at the worst possible moment then. Did my stream do an ad break? Did it? For a silly mobile game as well. My apologies. If the stream went out then, huge apologies. Sorry, I didn't realise it went to ad breaks during the stream. Very, very sorry about that. I'll have a look at getting that fixed. I don't think that's ever happened before. Apologies. Has that happened during the show already? Sorry, I don't know about this. Are Sky right? This would be the 5th consecutive away loss. Pass. Well, they lost at Watford on Monday. Second ad breaks. Oh, guys, sorry. I'll have a look. Something must have updated itself in the settings or something, and this has never ever happened before. Apologies. So it's giving you 2 in an hour and a half. Probably YouTube changed. Yeah, okay. Apologies, guys. We will try and get that removed. And it didn't ad break during a goal, for God's sakes. My humble apologies. Long one forward from Peters. Looks like Swift's going to get there. Good chest by Swift now. He's offside. So, yeah, it could be 5 straight away defeats, says Callum. Burnley, Bristol City, Birmingham and Watford. Add in Hull. Quite like the first ad break. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. That's literally never happened before, unless someone tells me it has on one of the watch-alongs. 3 points. Might put my PTSD to bed for another season. Skippable after 5 seasons. Yeah, apologies. It looks like Hull are about to make a sub. I think Tete's going to come off. He's played well, to be fair, the big number 9. Number 9 position-wise. I think he's wearing number 30, isn't he? Cleared by Griffiths. Excuse me, long man. It's been a long day. Chalobah gets onto it. So have they gone to a back three then, I wonder? We will figure out the shape then for West Brom after that substitution. Yeah, maybe not. Unless Yakuslu's playing in a back three, I wouldn't have thought. Although he is the deepest player at the moment. O'Shea, who we think is going to be credited with, credit is probably the wrong word, given an own goal against his name for that second one. Oh, nice little feed down the line by Malumbi. In comes a lovely looking cross. Great header away by Coyle. He's played well the Hull right back and captain, hasn't he? Nice aggressive performance by Coyle. Who do you used to play for? Fleetwood? Is that right? Peters, Chalobah. Yakuslu definitely looks like he's the furthest player back, so maybe this is a Baggies back three now as Corberon tries to get some more bodies forward. O'Shea sticks the cross in. DK tries to win it. That's surely a foul on the edge of the box there. We're going to get a free kick in a lovely looking position for West Brom, which I'm sure John Swift, Jed Wallace, etc. are going to be interested in. Looked a definite foul. Yeah, it's Doherty on. I think it might have been Swift, actually. 62 gone. West Brom need a goal or three. Do the first one first, couldn't they? Hull 2, West Brom 0. Carl Darlow is just figuring out exactly where he wants his wall to stand. Napoli hit the bar, then the post, then the keeper saved, and then they had one off the line. God, Ipswich had one of those against MK the other day. MK recorded most of their XG in the space of about 10 seconds. Swift hits the free kick. Oh, so unlucky. O'Shea screams it over the bar. Oh, keeper's completely done there. Swift smashes the free kick against the post. Oh, it's a great strike as well. How unlucky is that? Do you get the feeling it's not going to be your day? He doesn't even float it either. He proper stings that one over the wall. Really unlucky there, Swift. Just hits the inside of the post as well. And out it goes. And yes, it's not West Brom's night. Absolutely not. Post, indeed. I think Benjamin Tete is going out. Played well, actually, didn't he? And Oscar Estupinian is on. Like for like swap up top. Although I guess Estupinian is more a penalty box striker. Double sub for West Brom. Townsend out. Adam Reach has come in. Adam Reach. I think Malumbi went out as well. We'll find out in a sec. Yeah, Taylor Gardner Hickman is in. Malumbi and Townsend out. So Carlos Corberon is probably saying, screw this then. I'm shaking it up. Lots and lots of subs. We'll wait for FootMob to update and I'll read them all at once there. But one for Hull and now three for West Brom in total, but a double sub there. That is Gardner Hickman getting on the ball. O'Shea. And it's given away. West Brom underachieving again. Feel for the fans. That is Huddersfield Train's words, not mine, but I don't necessarily disagree with either statement, actually. Long one in, looking for Reach. DK's got it. DK is such a silly angle to shoot from that. Unless you're Marco van Basten, you're better off crossing from there, aren't you? Christopher. Sorry about that. I was late watching you with Gab. Oh, that's nice. And now you're watching me here on my own. You can see the prediction stream with Gab, although I think we're both going to get this one wrong. I think both back West Brom, did we? I can't remember. Who is my favourite Norwich player? I like Nunez, the midfielder, central midfielder, good player. Pookie's obviously brilliant, isn't he? Maybe one of those two. Swift. Gardner Hickman. Oh, Brighton. Clever little cross in. Kind of went to sweep it across the box, just dinked it. Reach gets across the near post, but couldn't really get anything on the header. Bags look like they've packed their bags and gone home. I think we're blue. Stupidly inconsistent. We could win the next two, think we're safe, then lose the next 5. There you go. Hey, Reading could be closer to you than they are at the moment soon. We think. Chalobah tries to get that one down the line, given away. Throw-in taken by Reach. 67 on the clock. Hull 2. West Brom 0. All Brighton reverse ball. Gardner Hickman. Swift. O'Shea. Swift. Good carry by Swift. Gardner Hickman. Oh, lovely cutback. Wallace hits the shot. Saved. Headed back in. Familiar theme about Baggies not being clinical here, isn't it? And Hull clear their lines. Alex, just got back. Where did this scoreline come from? Straight out of the football nonsense book, really, because, yeah, I assume you tapped out after West Brom were massively on top after half hour, but Hull got themselves in front. Double the lead from the set play in the second half, excuse me. There's that chance. It's a good save that, actually, by Darlow. For some reason, I looked at the linesman there, and he positioned himself, and I thought he was flagging. I actually missed the save. As Wallace tries to play it into All Brighton. Out it goes. Am I looking forward to the Old Firm dub? Norfolk dumpling. No, I hate those games, and we always lose them from an Ipswich point of view. I wouldn't be too sure it will be happening either. Long way to go in both divisions, let's just say, for it to potentially not happen again. How much is the points deduction? You'd think it's going to be 6 points for Reading. What are they on? 44, is it? Knock them down to 38. Check table in a minute. Albrighton puts the cross in, deflected out. Corner in front of those Baggies fans who are probably as confused as us as they're after the first half hour, how they've ended up 2-0 down. But it is what it is. You've got to defend your penalty area and you've got to score in the other, and they haven't done either, have they? In comes the corner. Estupinian scoops it up in the air. Gardner Hickman. Good strength by him. Swift. Nice feet by Swift. Gives it out wide to Wallace. Wallace puts the cross in, headed away by Elder. Chalobah thought about the shot. Takes a touch, and then if you're going to take the touch, you've got to play the pass then, haven't you? Because, shooting position has got obviously significantly worse. So, not the smartest by Chalobah, who's a very experienced player. O'Shea coming forward from centre back, trying to fix his own goal that made it 2-0, of course. Chalobah. Reach hits the shot. Good save by Darlow. Good hit by Adam Reach, who's always been a good long-range shooter, hasn't he? Not sure Reading can appeal as it's suspended. Deduction from a previous case. O'Shea up from the corner, heads well wide. Yeah, I would imagine that would be the case. You know who West Brom need to be more clinical and finish these chances? Carlin Grant. Is he still there? I know there was the big hoo-ha with Swansea, wasn't there, on deadline day? We didn't mention him on the bench. Hull are trying to take as long as possible to take this restart, this goal kick. 71-12 on the clock. Hull 2, West Brom 0. Peters has got it at the back for West Brom. This could be the way this one ends now, couldn't it? Hull have got a very simple brief, is don't concede any goals in the next 20 minutes and you get a nice 3-pointer. Particularly after that swift free kick hit the post, you just kind of get that feeling of, meh, is this one done? I think Reading will survive regardless. Current bottom three have been poor this season. Is Alex Mowat still at West Brom? I think he went to Middlesbrough, didn't he? I don't know if he went for the whole season. That was a Chris Wilder signing, wasn't it, earlier in the season? Didn't West Brom come down from 2-0 away to win it? They did, yeah. Well, I think in that game, I think Luton scored 2 quite early goals. And they had a bit longer than the 20 minutes now. We're 18 minutes plus stoppage time we're giving them in this one. Hooked forward by Tufan. O'Shea gets a bit lucky. Knocks it into the front of DK. Looked like a bit of a shove in the back there. Got away with it. And it's knocked home. Bit of a bouncy ball for Griffiths to deal with. Does well, actually. Boots that forward. And this time, DK does win the foul off Alfie Jones. Free kick on halfway for West Brom. Yeah, they're trying to get physical with DK, aren't they? Make first contacts with everything. Swift. Albrighton. Floaty cross. Peters arriving. DK hits the deck. And we have a foul on Estupinian. Flipping your hair like that, you could do Tresmates. If you ever see me do that, that's not me flipping my hair. I don't have a good neck. That's me trying to click this side of my neck just to relieve myself of some pain. Unfortunately. But we might get that looked at next week. Which would be nice if I can stand the pain of having some fists in the back of my neck. 74-20. It looks like Hull. I saw Syed Manesh about to come on. So I assume one of the wide forwards is coming out. Longman or Slater. Free kick to West Brom. And it looks like we are about to get that sub. In comes Syed Manesh and out goes Longman. We've done this before, haven't we? Fresh legs then for Hull. Like for like swap. On paper, West Brom look good. Just wonder if they're too unbalanced, i.e. top heavy. Possibly, yeah. Not a bad shout. Free kick. Baggies in it goes. Header on the near post. Looked like a West Brom head on that. Yakuslu there just heads it straight out. It just seems odd, doesn't it, that West Brom had that amazing run when Corberon first came in. Apologies, guys. Sorry, let me just do some blocking in the chat. Please ignore. I will deal with it. That they would go off the boil in this manner just seems weird. You can understand a team winning a few games, but they were completely flying up the table, weren't they? Oh, Griffiths, horrible ball given to him by O'Shea, has to come out and head that one, and Chalobah, clever there, holds his ground and draws the foul. Now, I don't mean the new manager bounce, because I looked this up, actually. I listened to a podcast about behavioural psychology. It's actually nothing to do with the new manager. What is it called? It's called the Fresh Start something. So let me see. Oh, into the box come West Brom. Cut back, reach. Oh, bobbles the shot awfully with his right foot. The Fresh Start effect. Apparently, human psychology says, even like on a Monday morning, it's why people join gyms in New Year. The idea of a fresh start helps a human, and it's not even to do with what they've done, what they're going to do in the future. It's to do with them disassociating themselves with past failure. So the new manager bounce should be called the fresh start effect, if you ask me. Not that anybody did. Oh, dear. So there's been 3 or 4 times now in the game where West Brom have been putting an attack together and just banged the ball out of play. That was it, just there again. And when that free kick hits the post and you see that, you think, they're not scoring today. They're not getting any points, are they? One of those days where it ain't going to happen. It looks like Hull. You've got to give Rossini some credit, actually, because if the idea was to sit in and hit the lad Tete up top and keep it tight and nab another one from a set play, sounds exactly like what's happened. A West Brom player I do not recognise. Looks like a youngster about to come on. Which would be, I think, sub number 4. When I said Hull would win and keep a clean sheet, I was actually joking. It's happening. Only 12 minutes or 11 minutes plus stoppage time now to last out for Hull. And yeah, other than that swift free kick, which was just damn unlucky, the West Brom finishing has just not been up to it today, has it? Couple of chances for DK, one for Wallace, one for Reach. A minute ago, O'Shea header. Nothing really clinical. Reach crosses that in. That did look like a fair hand ball shout there. No doubt we will see a replay. I don't know whether he was in the box, but nonetheless, we play on. Oh, Brighton crosses from the right wing. Wallace, I don't know whether he dummied the header, just completely went to head it and just missed it. Right, substitution time. Hopefully Sky are going to show us some footage. Rico Richards is on for West Brom. I know nothing. Anyone can smart me up on Rico Richards? That would be great. What does FootMob say about him? Let's have a look. It says he's 19 years old, and it says he's a midfielder. And other than that, I think they know nothing either. Here come Hull. Coyle on halfway. He's charged down. It's going to be a throw-in to West Brom. Jed doesn't miss headers. It was a dummy. Only he will know. It's going to be a throw-in for West Brom, which O'Shea will take. West Brom have had 20 shots in this game. He's 6 on target. Now remember, Swift's shot against the post doesn't count as a shot on target, does it? And that was the best finish of the entire night, basically. Speaks volumes. Reach knocks it inside. Swift. Wallace. Nice play by Wallace. Out to Albrighton. Albrighton puts the cross in. Do you know what? They've got in plenty of good crossing positions, West Brom. Only that Wallace one in the first half, I remember, where Furlong was there on the near post and didn't really get anything on it. Has been a real good quality cross. As in, not one that just looks nice and flies in the box, but one that's actually going to find an attacking player in a good position. Excuse me. Corner, West Brom. There's another cross that doesn't find a West Brom header. Carl Darlow, very good catch there, commanding. Comes out and grabs that one. 82-12 on the clock. Hull 2, West Brom 0. Yeah, that'll teach me to wind you up about the new manager bounce. My Brewdog beer has gone everywhere. There you go. New manager bounce. That goes in my football room 101 with the manager of the month curse. You can make a lot more sensible conversations about the new manager bounce than you can about the manager of the month curse, let's just say. At least one is not based on voodoo. Christopher, West Brom need to fix this season. Something wrong with their system, as Carlos Corberon said in his press conference talk lately. Yeah, very good. We have Hull at home next week. Interesting. Yeah. I wonder if they play exactly the same strategy away from home. Well, I suppose it's the defensive strategy. Normally you're more attacking at home than you are away from home. And not much of that. But they're winning. You have to give them credit. It does feel like one of those nights where people are going to talk about West Brom being a bit hapless and Hull taking advantage rather than anything else. That's the deal, though, isn't it? Cross to the back post. I'm getting irritated by West Brom now. If I were a West Brom fan, I would be in the stand. I would be annoyed by this performance. It's been very aggravating, hasn't it? We come up 85 minutes. Looks like one more substitute is going to be coming on. It is Jacob Greaves. Tufan comes out. Well, I think that tells you everything. We think potentially the most creative player in the whole squad, Tufan, is coming out for potentially the best defender in the whole squad in Greaves. They want a clean sheet, don't they? I must admit, I like Rosinia. Yeah, I think most people do. Comes across as a smart fella, doesn't he? This reminds me of your super streams, waiting for a Baggy's miracle. I hate to say it, Findaloo. I don't think you're getting one tonight. This is one of those we could play till midnight and West Brom wouldn't score type situations, isn't it? We'll see. Who's most likely out of Watford, Norwich, West Brom to break into the top 6? Probably Norwich on the basis of what I've seen, but I wouldn't put it past any of the three of them having a good run. Although West Brom have been pants tonight, haven't they? Danny, up the ticks. There we go. Come on, Clarets. Plenty of fans of different teams in the chat. We love to see it. Excuse me. I've got a mute button on here for when I cough. Put my hands over my mouth though, didn't I? One hand over the mouth. There you go. I'll do that next time. Chalobah. O'Shea. Given away. Hull counter. No. Reach gets back and grabs that one. So West Brom have brought in 4 subs. Chalobah on 58. Reach. And Gardner Hickman on 65. Richards, who I've never seen before actually, on 80. Hasn't made a lot of difference, I have to say. Oh, nice hold up by DK. Swift just kind of falls over as he hits the shot and away you go. One of the Hull defenders is down. Just about sums it up, doesn't it? Swift is a classy player, but gets his legs all in a mess there as he goes to take the shot. It was Callum Elder who was down. I don't want to make accusations of nefarious behaviour, but you always wonder at the end of a game when players go down whether they're hurt or not. Yeah, look, guys, I think I've spoken about the advert things. I'm not going to spend the whole stream apologising for it. I don't know why they're playing adverts in the stream tonight. It's never happened before. I'm not going to speak about it again. I've apologised, and yeah, we'll try and get it fixed. If Burnley start next season well in the Premier League, how long do you think before Premier League could sniffing for company? Pretty quickly, I reckon. Yakuslu knocks that out to O'Shea. Albrighton. Wallace. He comes across to the near post again, just headed away. Gardner Hickman driving forward. Ball deflects across, cleared by Coyle, who's probably one in with a shout for man of the match, isn't he? In fact, let's put that to the chat right now. Who's your man of the match in this one? And Tete made the difference in the first half, but he only had about 4 touches, didn't he? I have enjoyed Coyle, the right back for Hull. They would possibly be my 2. Let me know who you think in the chat for your man of the match, player of the match. Use whatever word you feel comfortable with. Estupinian. Coyle into the front. Surely the offside flag is going to go up. And indeed it does. Against Reagan Slater. Ball boy behind the goal. Yeah, Darlow's not a bad shout, actually, if Sky have given it to him. He made a couple of good saves, didn't he? One with his feet as well. Safer scorers, both Darlow and Swift. The old algorithm has got Darlow as well. There you go. Hull number 2. Well, that was what I was going with, John. Coyle, the right back. My eye testers liked him. He's played nice old school, aggressive right back game, snapping into tackles. He's the captain as well. He's been leading his troops to what looks like it's going to be a win as we tick over 90 minutes. Carlos Corleone must be a bit confused about this one. 4 minutes of stoppage time. To play out. Looks like they're going to be a 2-0 to Hull, and they're going to move up right onto the edge of the top half of the table. Chalobah. Chalobah to Swift. Richards, O'Shea, Chalobah. Oh, Brighton tries to cross it in. Blocked out. Corner to West Brom. Well, that's West Brom out of the pitch. Well, Chris, see how the results go tomorrow, but it could be a bit of a decisive looking weekend for, possibly putting a gap in on West Brom for whoever wants to grab themselves a 3-pointer this week. Headed across by O'Shea, headed out. 3 Hull players land on that ball to clear. And West Brom go all the way home as we tick over 91 and a half. Gardner-Hickman. O'Shea miscontrols, but all Brighton is behind him. Launches that one into the channel looking for Richards. He's not going to get there, is he? Oh, yes, he is. Richards does well, knocks it back. Wallace, Swift, and a cross gets to the back stick and reach. Touch. Sticks it wide on the near post. And, West Brom might as well just go home now, mightn't they? It's not happening, is it? Just haven't got first contact on any of the crosses, have they? And they've put plenty in. I'm sure we can get the number on FootMob or SofaScore or something. "90 seconds left. Going to be a good win for Hull. Don't want to sound snobby, but they've hardly total footballed their way to it. Sat behind the ball for the first 30 minutes. West Brom kind of dominated, scored with their first chance, set play in the second half, but fair dues to Liam Rossini and the Tigers. They are getting 3 points here. West Brom have just been a bit, use whatever word you want, fluffy, hapless, Mr. Bean type football today from West Brom. Had so much of the ball, so many shots, but when Swift hit the post with that free kick, you kind of knew, didn't you? It wasn't going to happen today. Yellow card comes out from referee Linnington. Who was that for? Gardner-Hickman? A cynical one by him. I mean, to be fair, he's added plenty of energy since he's been on, but hasn't made the grandest amount of difference, has it? We're coming up to full time then. 20 seconds of minimum stoppage time remaining. Long goal kick forward for Hull. Reaches in the corner. He knocks it out to Chalobah, and we're just playing out the last few seconds now. And that will do it. Well played, Hull. Hapless stuff from West Brom tonight. Their fans are going to be really annoyed by that performance. Let's have a look at the numbers and then the league table, and I will bid you all good night. 70-30 on the possession, 21 shots. Oh, God, it's just a hopeless performance by West Brom looking at those numbers, isn't it? They've had most of the ball, most of the play, most of the chances, and they've lost 2-0. It's just one of those, isn't it, where the penalty boxes, West Brom played them awfully by the look of it. And yeah, there you go. Let's have a look at the league table. We knew what it was going to look like with quite a lot of certainty, being there's only one game going on. So just keep your eyes. Can I get all 3 of them in? Yeah. So we've got the edge of the playoffs there with Luton on 54. West Brom on 48. Chances, the chat was saying there, for a gap to, if there's 6 points at the moment, it's probably going to extend, isn't it? Tomorrow, you wouldn't think everyone's going to lose in the playoff. Jay, it's probably not possible if I actually examine the fixtures. Hull move into 13th spot. Is it massively convincing? No, but it is what it is, and they've got the win, they've got the job done, and I think that was the game plan, and it worked. So, yeah, I'm not sure it'll work every week, conceding that many shots and that much possession, but it's what you do with it, isn't it? So There you go. Cheers to you lot. Ben there, Lenny, great result. Luton, Blackburn and Millwall all thank Hull. Absolutely not what I've predicted. No, I had this one going the other way around. Have a good one. Remember to see Russ's clip, of course. We love it, don't we? Right, guys, I am going to be at ITV all day tomorrow. So make sure you watch the show at 9 p.m. I'll be working on that in the background. It's Hugh and Sam Parkin and Jamie Mackey tomorrow night. And we'll try and get a video up on Sunday lunchtime reacting to whatever has gone on. Thank you, Power Mad, David. Liam, thank you all for joining me. Sorry about the ads. We will figure that all out. And I will see you back on Sunday. Lovely over and out from me. Hull City 2, West Brom 0.